Well, it is 6 a.m. on this Tuesday, and a special good morning to Stella Reed. I remember when your daughter was in kindergarten at Moran Prairie. Now she's graduating.
And a special good morning to Caleb, Andrew, Joey, and all the other great players on the Titans team. Way to win the basketball championship at the Warehouse over the weekend. KHQ Local News Today starts right now.
Celebrating 60 years of covering the Inland Northwest, your official home of the 2012 Summer Games. This is KHQ Local News Today. Right now on KHQ, breaking news.
At 6 o'clock, we are following breaking news. Good morning once again. I'm Shelley Monahan.
And I'm Sean Owsley. Glad you're with us this Tuesday morning. Right now, fire crews in Pullman investigating after a third suspicious fire on Washington State University campus. It happened early this morning.
And again, this is the third suspicious fire in less than a week. Right now, Mayor Glenn Johnson is joining us on our KHQ Live line with more information as we look at a map of the area. Good morning, Mayor Johnson. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Shelley and Sean.
Good morning. If you can, walk us through what happened. I know it was very early, a lot of ignition spots in McCoy Hall. What is happening right now on campus, Glenn?
Well, this alarm came in actually by the alarm panel for a change. The other ones came in by residents who actually could see the flames. The alarm panel went off around 12:30. Fire crews spent some time trying to actually even find this fire, and they found it finally in an isolated section of McCoy Hall, which is used by the College of Veterinary Medicine. And the only entrance to that particular section of the building came over from a south entrance, and that's where they found a broken window where the person gained access. And then they found several ignition points where the person tried to start fire. And actually it did trigger the sprinkler system, which saved the building. There is some water damage, but hardly any fire damage.
For people that might not be familiar with this, Mayor Johnson, walk us through the other two fires and where we are at this point.
Well, the first fire that we have that we've basically somewhat linked all three of them to the Nez Perce Village. That fire came in about, I think that one was around 3:30 in the morning. And that fire actually destroyed the community building, which is right between two apartment complexes at Nez Perce. Then the second fire came in on Saturday morning, and that one was also a community building, unoccupied, and that again between two apartment complexes. Both the community buildings were totally destroyed by fire. They were fully involved when the time our fire crews arrived. And both the second fire definitely was suspicious. First one's unfounded, but that basically now is called suspicious as well. And this one here, of course, they found the ignition points, and this was suspicious. They did call in the Spokane Police Department's tracking dog this morning to try and help out as much as they possibly could. We had an arson dog here from the Spokane Valley Fire Department on Saturday.
Mayor Johnson, if you can, are there cameras inside of McCoy Hall? Could that lend a clue to who's responsible for this?
That's under the investigation from the WSU Police Department. We do have cameras all around campus. I'm not too certain about in this particular section of the building, but the WSU Police Department is certainly investigating that part.
All right, Mayor Johnson, as always, thank you so much for being readily available for us this morning. We'll continue to follow this, obviously, throughout the day and have a complete wrap-up on KHQ Local News tonight at 5 and 6.
Well, this morning a search is underway for a juvenile male still missing after the boat he was riding in sank on the Columbia River in Camas, Washington. The boat went under late Monday morning. Clark County Sheriff's officials say that boat had 3 people on board when it went down. 2 adults were rescued, had to be treated for exposure. As you can see in this video, the Coast Guard helped out in that search. Sheriff's authorities will be back out this morning searching for that juvenile. He was reportedly not wearing a life jacket. A witness reported seeing the small watercraft become entangled in the anchor line and then overturn, tossing the boaters into the water. Well, new this morning, police in Oklahoma City say they have arrested the former boyfriend of a 17-year-old Renton girl found stabbed to death inside her home on Friday morning. Police in Renton say this man, 19-year-old Jared Lane, had been on the run since Friday morning when police found the body of Jessica Scholl in her family's burning house in Renton. Lane was reportedly distraught over the couple's recent breakup.
New this morning, an incredibly close call near Toronto. It started with an Air Canada plane bound for Tokyo with more than 300 people on board. The plane made a safe landing, but not before pieces of the plane actually fell to the ground, damaging some residents' vehicles. Debris from the plane fell onto vehicles at a nearby gas station. That plane had just taken off after 2 o'clock Eastern time, headed for Tokyo.
Midway through, the air conditioning kind of popped, which doesn't really happen, and then we stopped accelerating. The plane continued in that kind of angle of acceleration, but nothing happened.
One engine on the plane had shut down. After 90 minutes in the air, the plane, Boeing 777, circled back around, making that emergency landing. Fortunately, no injuries reported on the plane or from debris that actually hit the ground. This morning, one man is dead, one is recovering from injuries, and an investigation is underway after two small planes collided outside of Washington, D.C. on Monday afternoon. Investigators with the Virginia State Police say that two private planes collided, killing one person whose plane was destroyed by fire. Officials say that the second pilot was transported to a local hospital to be treated. The cause of the crash yet to be determined. Well, the official start of hurricane season starts on Friday, and now U.S. officials are reviewing their disaster plans, especially since a tropical storm already swept ashore earlier in the week.
Although the Atlantic's 6-month storm season officially begins Friday, the season, as Shelley mentioned, got an early start with Tropical Storm Alberto forming earlier in the month off the coast of South Carolina. Then Beryl swept ashore.
The storm hit land with 6 to 8 foot waves and wind gusts up to 73 miles an hour.
Rain from this squall from Beryl, a couple of hours from landfall now. We've had gusts over 50 miles an hour. This is horizontal stinging rain here on Jacksonville Beach.
The storm is weakening as it makes its way north, then northeast off the Carolina coast on Wednesday, but not before soaking the drought-stricken area, which desperately needed some rain.
Right now, your weather in the 6s.
Needed the rain, but maybe not in torrents.
That's
quite
right.
That
Mike Seidel from the Weather Channel there just getting pushed sideways, George.
I don't know what we're doing
that's
here.
a stinging rain. And
well, it's a little breezy out here, but if you look off to the west, it's blue sky and beautiful with a few clouds, but right behind me, due east going down Sprague. Look at those clouds. Look at the sun coming up right now. What a beautiful shot, but that tells you what's happening because that stuff is moving into our area. Right now, across the state line in Benewad, Latah County, and pushing into Shoshone County, they've had small hail and rain and thunder, and it's been coming down hard. But we're starting to dry out, and we're going to get up to 48 to 50 degrees today, so it's going to be a relatively nice day. It feels cold right now. It feels breezy right now. When you're coming home from work today, well, you're going to be in the 60s. It's going to start to cool down. We'll still have that breeze about 15 miles an hour. But other than a sprinkle here or there, I think we're going to be in the clear as far as rain goes. But we got some nasty clouds over our head right now, and that could bring us a shower or some thunder, but mainly now in western Montana. So 70 would be normal. We're going to get there almost tomorrow and then be mostly cloudy, but mostly dry, Shelley.
All right, George, thank you much. At 6:07 KHQMD, calcium supplements are very popular, but a recent study shows they can increase your chances of a heart attack. Doctors have been telling patients to take calcium supplements for years. According to market research, they're the second most popular supplement in the country.
For my bones, the strength of my bones up.
I figure, a couple of supplements won't do me any harm.
Well, listen to this. Not true, according to a study published in the online British medical journal Heart that shows calcium supplements can do plenty of harm. Research shows people who take calcium supplements regularly are almost 90% more likely to have a heart attack than those who don't take those supplements. The study also finds even getting calcium from food will not help your heart, but points out eating food rich in calcium will improve overall health. As always, ask your doctor.
6:08, researchers in California have now come up with a way of using virtual reality to treat post-traumatic stress disorder. It plays out like a video war game on steroids. Jolts to the user's floorboard accentuate the sensations of combat in a war-torn city or no man's land. Research assistant Brady Helge reacted physically.
Well, my hands definitely began sweating when the combat kicked in. It was loud and intense. I wanted to get out of that area.
Part of the program is a repair effort to help the victims of post-traumatic stress get over it or to help them compensate for it by putting them back into terrifying situations, only this time through virtual reality so they can control their emotions in a safe environment. The program was dreamed up by the U.S. military and Hollywood special effects artists with the help of psychologists.
That would be an interesting one to do a follow-up on, wouldn't it? To go through with some of the soldiers that are suffering from this, follow them through this program, and then see how it all ends up.
Well, you can see, you can see in that video how real and lifelike it looks.
But if they know they're going to be safe,
they have, you're safe. Yeah. But here, take a look at this, and helps them. It's going to be interesting to see over a year, 2, 5 years, the end results. But obviously, anything that can help as the veterans come back from war is certainly a good thing. Well, right now we are having a lot of fun, and we're elevating our game in the 9 Mile area at Adventure Dynamics.
That's right. And right now we want to go back out live to Matt Rogers. He's got a Mobile 6 backpack ready to go.
That's right, Sean and Shelley here at 9 Mile, and we've got Jared, who we interviewed last time. Well, now he's got the harness on, and he's going to climb up to what is called the, well, I guess the leap of success that they're calling it here, and we'll get to that in just one moment. I want to bring in Lori here, who's been out there on the course, and obviously the owner of Adventure Dynamics will. But Lori, while he's climbing up there, you've gone on this big swing. You've climbed the balance beam 40 feet.
All right, Mobile 6 backpack having a bit of the jitters this morning.
Mobile 6, a little TV shy. A Mobile 6 is now Mobile 3.5.
And you know right now Matt's running around like crazy to try and get that live picture.
What happens is a cable usually comes unconnected. He's got to reconnect it. We'll get it back for you. We're going to take you there. We're going to elevate you. They did the balance beam. They did the swing, 40-foot drop.
We're hoping Matt does something before the end of the show on this too. It'll be fun.
Maybe at the very end.
Maybe.
He'll elevate. All right, coming up in about 2 minutes, 2 California teens saw this in their swimming pool. We'll tell you the whole story.
Oh, this will be pleasant. All right, we'll be back after the break.